Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Sunday, August 11th, 2024. It is the day of the god, the sun's day, Suna's day, the 21st of Leo, the 7th of Hazel, the 21st of Salmon, and the 16th of Hayaner, which is the haymaking month. Next up, we have the details of our astrology. The sun is in Leo, fixed fire, representing achievement. The moon is in first quarter Scorpio, fixed water, which is secretive. Mercury is retrograding in Virgo, mutable earth, which is about reflections. Venus is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing perfectionism. Mars is in Gemini, mutable air, which is to be pugnacious. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, which is about questing. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, which is about renovation. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is about spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, fixed air, which means to examine intentions. So, for the Mercury retrograde, the main theme is to reevaluate your communication patterns. For the Saturn retrograde, it's about reclaiming your authority. And for Neptune, it's reclaim your faith, your joy, your magic, and your imagination. For Pluto, it's reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, it's about restoring the heroic spirit. Now, we are in the first quarter of moon phase, which is all about implementing ideas. So all of our magical working should be trying to bring about any of the intentions we set during the new moon. And as it is a Scorpio moon, some of our do's are focus, research, go deep, and the don'ts are cultivating new acquaintances, family gatherings, manipulation. So on the day of the sun, we have the lazy lion sun that might be wanting to bask in what it has already accomplished. After all, there's no sense in working very hard if you're not going to admire what you have brought about. And that's essentially what the solar energy is trying to lean us towards today. But then you have the Scorpion moon that is craving very intense investigation of something. So if you start feeling obsessive, you are feeling that lunar influence pretty strongly. And for the Virgo Mercury retrograde, it is wanting to reflect. It's wanting to reflect preferably while organizing things to a state of absolute perfection. So if you are feeling pulled in all different directions today, don't feel bad about that at all. There's a lot of conflicting energies floating in the air. Try to cooperate with whatever influence you are. And now that my video is back, work with the energy that you are feeling the most strongly, because that's probably where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, at least energy-wise. Now, our tarot of the day is the Five of Swords. The number 5 represents challenges, and the suit of swords is the rational masculine, projective energy, the air element, and the mind. And the keywords for this card in particular are strong contender, lost in competition, passed over for promotion, sacrificing integrity, selfish motives, taking advantage of others. And you'll notice there are two figures in this card. One is in the forefront. It's got all the swords. It has all the things, and it seems to be doing very well. But then in the background figure, it's looking off to one side. It's forgotten. It's even in a darker color that's kind of fading away from your consciousness. It's not jumping out of you. So if you are feeling that particular aspect of this card's energy, perhaps this is an opportunity to regroup. Beware of costly mistakes. Don't act rashly. Don't make decisions that you're going to later regret. Just reflect. Even though it seems that people who behave badly get ahead, and perhaps they do in the short term, but the benefits of that are always extremely temporary, even when we're dealing with the kind of corruption we're dealing with in our society right now. Even in those conditions, it is still very temporary. You're not going to really benefit from it in the long run. And of course, as pagans, we should be focused upon our long-term good. So just a few things to bear in mind today. Our Celtic triad reads, 3 elements of gracious accommodation, cheerful welcome, hot sustenance, and a warm bed. So a kind welcome, that just sets the tone for the entire visit. If someone is, they've arranged to be staying over with someone, it's going to be a good long visit. And then if someone's kind of indifferent, unenthused, or worse, indifferent or irritated when they come to the door, they're probably going to start thinking, perhaps we should just stay at a hotel and do other things. So of course, without that first welcoming, it just sets a bad tone for everything. And then good food and drink, that is just inherently relaxing, and it can help break the ice for conversation, particularly if you are finding yourself, entertaining relatives or some such. And If you happen to be hearing a peculiar sound in the background, apparently we're doing round 2 of the monthly tornado siren testing. I don't know why they decided to do that. I actually waited to start recording until after I thought they were done. So that's special. And I apologize if you can hear it. Anyway, back to our triad. You do need, just good food, good drink. That is just absolutely part of being a good host and making sure that your guests do have a good time. And then for comfortable sleeping arrangements, that can really secure your reputation as a good and thoughtful host. Oh, those sirens. Well, bravely pressing along, today's magical correspondences are centered on the theme of wisdom. So the color for this is yellow. The plant is the sunflower, the animal is the hedgehog, and the crystal is the topaz. Now, most often, I would think most of us will admit that we tend to be in search of wisdom rather than in possession of it. And there's nothing wrong with having some humility on this, because there's nothing worse than the person who thinks they know the answer to everything, and all they are is just annoying. So we don't want to be that ourselves so far as what we can help. And so, kind of maintaining that mindset of I am looking for wisdom. I am looking to see guidance from pagan sources. I'm looking at the natural world for guidance. I'm trying to figure out how things actually are so I can operate accordingly. Part of wisdom is about rejecting illusions. It's about being able to separate what is real, what is factual, how something actually functions, from our feelings about how we wish it functioned, how we wish it was, how we wish things could be. It's important to be able to separate the two, because if we really genuinely can't, then not only are we not going to be able to separate fact from fiction, we're not going to be able to operate in a wise way, because we're not operating in accordance with reality. We're just operating in accordance with our own wishful thinking. So it is an act of self-sabotage that we thankfully have the power to try to bring down to a minimum. For today's practice, first thing I would invite you to contemplate is what part of your personality is most like the sun. Now, for some people, they may not find very much correlation between those energies, and that's perfectly fine if that is the case. But for other people, they might think about warmth, they might think about light, they might feel like a desire to shine, or they might associate with their own creativity. Whatever it is, just kind of give that a little bit of think today. And then today's Hermetic principle is mentalism. So I would invite you to look for seeing this particular principle in operation. For the Witch's Pyramid, we're looking at the foundation today. So how is your knowledge base, your knowledge of, and the video is now back. Your knowledge is, of course, the foundation for your own spirituality. So, just how's it looking? Is it a strong foundation? Is it a large foundation? Is it a teeny tiny foundation? Whatever it is, just kind of make note of where you stand with that. What is your favorite solar symbol? Because there's lots of different renderings for them. And then, of course, it's Sunday, so it's time to plan out the week and make sure you know what you're doing in the coming days. And today's journal prompt, I have a lovely little lagoon for you at sunset that I thought was rather pretty. So are the evenings starting to feel shorter where you live? What kind of headspace does that put you in? Is it beautiful to you? Because, of course, and I was made aware of this in I think earlier this week, of at least the week that I'm recording on, someone just was expressing to me how they really, really struggle with seasonal depression at this time of year. I mean, and it starts hitting them in August, and it can be very difficult to see beauty when we're in an environment that feels like kind of the energetic anathema to our preferred state of being. So that's just something to think about, to contemplate. It's an opportunity to look to find something good if this time of year isn't particularly your cup of tea. Just see where this takes you. And of course, last off, have a very wonderful day. We only have a few hours of the weekend left, so I hope you make the most of them. If you're interested, you can follow me at Blackbird's Brew on X. And of course, the Blackbird Grimoire can be found on YouTube and Rumble. And by all means, visit us at Oak and Elder Witchery. There's a link in the description. And I want to clear up a little bit of confusion people have been having with the signing up process. Gilded is partnering with some sort of company called Roblox. They want you to sign up for a Roblox account, but you are not going to be accessing the Gilded Group through Roblox. They just want you to have it because that satisfies the terms of the partnerships between those companies. But to get to the Oaken Elder Witchery, once you are all signed up, you'll be looking for a green icon that has, trees and a witch and a wizard on it. And that is where you'll click on to find the Oaken Elder Witchery, of course, once you've gone through all of the preliminaries. I'm very sorry they've been complicated for so many people. That was definitely not my intention. When it comes to technical stuff, I generally operate on the principle, since I'm such a dunce about it. If I can do it, probably anybody can do it. But it's very it can be very confusing if you are not familiar with that particular platform and how it operates. All I can say is that I have done things as easy as I possibly could think of them to be done. So I hope that it will be less confusing for people going forward. But that does it for today. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, or come see me, the rest of the gang, at the Oaken Elder Witchery. But I think that will do it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.